Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another interview of Rural Builds, the news channel where we interview the folk of rural craft. You should join the server, by the way, if you aren't watching from rural craft. IP is in the description. Today, we are interviewing the town of Lava. Let's palette analysis. Let's first check out the exterior. The exterior, as I like would to divide it, it could be divided into two main layers: the orange layer and the gray layer. The orange layer is dominated by, at least I think this is how they approach the build. First, they should have built up with the terracotta, normal terracotta, and then they built up the shading. I mean texturing. First, they might have built built these walls with terracotta and texture it with acacia logs, granite, and then acacia wood family. And then the roof, which is the second layer, that I was speaking about earlier, has a domination of stone family, like all the stones. Like this is this path is basically the roof, but the roof is has got its own thing. Like the path does not have any gray terracotta or gray concrete, I believe. I think that's not concrete. That might be terracotta. Cyan terracotta looks like that, or I might be completely wrong here. By the way, this build was inspired from a real building known as. Now, if we let's go around and let's go around this build and let's talk about it bit by bit. Now, this is the main entrance here, which has this sort of unique archways. I don't know why they exist here, but they look cool, so that's a good thing, I guess, to have. Here we see in the we come around here is much more prevalent with these stone structures, and they look sick. They look very sick. Yeah. I have to say this build backside is as good as its front. Like I do not know what to speak of it. When this is pretty much, at least the exterior is pretty much buildable in survival just by looking at this video alone. I mean, it is a little bit grindy, sure, but it is doable. I'm not saying that this build might be easy though. Especially the roof, the dome. I myself have a rough and hard time building with building domes and working with circles in Minecraft. But when it comes to the interior, it's kind of a different story. Yes, this build has an interior. I haven't shown it quite yet. But compared comparing the outside to the inside, um, the outside build, the exterior is buildable, much more buildable compared to the interior, which is slightly more grindy. Now let's go in the interior. Yes, you can see that is a lot of smelting for the roof. Now for the interior, so I am going to cover the build from top to bottom. As I said earlier before, every time I see every single time I see a dome or circle in Minecraft, I am instantly amazed and impressed because I cannot build I cannot build a dome or a circle in Minecraft without it looking hideous. So it is automatically a good thing for me. I do not know about you people. And as you can see, the floor is quite no, it is not different at all as compared to the path. Actually, it blends right in. Forget blending, this path is a direct continuation of the road to the floor. The dome has a lot of yellow glazed terracotta and has a acacia chandelier with lanterns. It is not much of iron to get. I suppose the lanterns are probably the cheapest build, cheapest material, counting for the amount that was used and the so not much iron is needed. Coming down a layer, in terms of blocks, there are a few openings and there seems to be some holes for air to get in, as to speak of. And coming down a little more, there is this random grill. Now that is a common feature that we can see throughout this build. Along here, these rails, which I wonder what the purpose of this build is. Now let's try to go up. Yeah, yeah.